Comment est-ce que vous avez conçu, imaginé et réalisé cette ouverture?
J'ai mis pas mal de temps en fait à créer la composition de la couverture. Je laisserai les lecteurs se faire une idée. Je vais pas raconter. Non, non, je vais.
Faut la décrire quand même.
Oui, tout à fait.
Décrivez-la tout.
Ouais, je sais justement. En fait, c'est cryptique. Déjà, mon intention première, c'est de ne pas montrer.
No, I just want to know.
Je voulais qu'il soit assez.
This is reflective
Donc effectivement, ce
transparent
veste
skin
de
is
dos,
what that is.
Elle est de bleu, elle est en blanc. Elle est sur le sol.
voilà, il y a une sorte de manteau avec le vent qui le fait flotter.
Exactement. Sur une butte, on peut voir perdu, auréolé d'une plantée, entourée de ses parents.
Voilà, en plus, on voit l'ombre en fait de Pergut, on le voit noir, on le voit à contre-jour.
Exact.
Plus que le personnage, on voit passer près.
Exactement. Et en fait, il y avait un jeu de lumière qui était très intéressant pour moi. Où justement, en fait, la lune fait contre-jour. Donc lui apparaît en noir.
Bonsoir, Francois. No, if you're an Anglophone, it's okay to make jokes like that. You can't say I'm a Francophone and then make jokes in French. You go to Francophone hell for that. You know what you hear there? American daytime TV in English all fucking day long. No sap.
And if you are traveling on the northbound DVP heading out of the city, it's slow approaching Eglinton to North Lawrence. There are 12 days left to the RRSP contribution deadline. Visit scotiabank.com/investing to build a plan to invest for
a couple
tomorrow
weeks ago,
and enjoy your life
coffee
today.
berries
Here's Natasha
have
Ramsahide.
coffee beans inside.
Watch in place for what's coming tomorrow. The rest of tonight, though, it's going to be cloudy down to
These
-10.
tomatoes came from
We are waking
Peru,
up to
and they grow
wind chill
here
of
now.
-18, and if you're downtown
Well,
Toronto,
we've been
over
cultivating them for
likely
10,000
already
years. It stands to
snowing in the
reason
morning
we
with
could
some lake
cultivate
effect snow,
coffee here.
off of Lake Ontario. And then through the
Dates
afternoon, a
and
general
figs
for
do the
5
same
to
damn
8
thing.
centimeters snowfall blanketing the GTA. It's going to be blown around as well, so reduced visibility.
Yeah, it's like minus 250 degrees out there. What's Kelvin? It's like negative 3 degrees Kelvin out there. Negative 10 with the Kelvin. With
You got nowhere else to put your snow, but I'm going to give you another 20 plus centimeters. Probably
I don't need all these
15 for Toronto.
Yeah.
Overnight tonight, down to low of -10. It is currently -5, wind chill -11 at Pearson.
Roasted and packed by.
The city's top doctor and the Peel chief medical officer of health both calling on the province to delay moving those regions back to the provincial color-coded framework for at least another 2 weeks. The stay-at-home order is set to expire
You
next
got
week.
gray.
680's Phil Martino joins us live with what you need to know. Phil.
If I told you,
James,
oh,
the
there, we're going
request
from an
for
orange
extension
region
stems
to a
from
gray
concern
region,
about
you'd be
new
like,
COVID-19 variants that are
is that better or worse? You don't know. Orange, halfway between yellow and red.
In hospitals, in a shelter,
Yeah,
and
halfway
at a
between yellow and red.
plant.
Okay.
Dr.
Now we're going
Eileen
to gray.
DeMilla says just a week ago there
Not Gray
were
County or
33
some
confirmed
shit.
cases of COVID-19
There's a
variants in the
place.
city.
That's
Today,
something else too.
there are
You can't call it
56.
gray when we have a
I've never
gray
been
county.
worried about
Is
the
it
future
simple region and gray
as I
county or
am
some
today.
shit?
That's why she and
Look,
Peel's
I
top
even
doctor
remember that.
want a
That's
2-week
I'm from
extension of the
Toronto. When am I
lockdown
supposed to
and
remember those
stay-at-home
places?
order in Toronto appeal. They made the request in a letter to Ontario's chief medical officer. Minister of Health Christine Elliott
Yeah,
says
those in my
what
pocket in case
restrictions will
somebody
be
asks me
placed
for a
on these
light
regions is
anymore.
still
We're gonna
up
have
for
those.
discussion.
It's a crackhead.
Dr. Williams, the public health measures table, and the local medical officers are talking in both Peel and Toronto. So there were some numbers that came in last night. There will be numbers that are going to come in on Thursday as well. And then a recommendation will be made by Dr. Williams based on discussions with the local medical officers.
You're from Toronto. You know what that sound was.
City officials say as they wait for a response from the province, it remains imperative that all people stay home as
No,
much
this
as
whole
possible
city
and
full of things
comply
that
with the
beep
lockdown
and
regulations.
ding
Phil
and-
Martino, 680 News.
Premier Ford being criticized for a remark he made towards the leader of the opposition today. Here's 680's Richard Southern.
I gotta hear this.
Question period.
I don't know, but I gotta hear it.
Was asking the premier why he's reopening the economy against most medical advice, and that prompted Ford to say this to sports or that.
It's like listening to nails on a chalkboard, listening to you.
I agree. Now listen.
Party leader Mike Schreiner.
Listen.
Yeah, I thought the premier's language was misogynistic and unacceptable, and he should
Misogynistic.
unequivocally apologize.
His
Using that kind of
language was
language in
misogynistic. No, he said
response
the
as a way
premier's
to
being a
put down,
misogynist.
a female
That's what he said. He
politician
said
just isn't acceptable.
he said nails on a chalkboard.
The whole situation later by reporters.
I think it goes.
I don't see the female male designation there. Nails on a chalkboard. Was there more that you're not telling us?
And you know, and it's unfortunate that he
I'm
doesn't
not
see it that
providing
way.
what's the word? Apologies, apologetics for misogyny. I'm just saying I don't see it. I didn't hear misogyny. Unless chalkboards means teachers and teachers means women and spinsters. That's too many levels deep to think.
It's really a 1-2 punch.
Nails on a chalkboard. Remember, he's like the family-friendly tough guy. Like he doesn't code you fucking idiot. He says you yahoos. You're being yahoos. That's how you get involved. You can't fucking talk like a rapper and be a politician.
Right smack dab under
Except for
that
Snoop Dogg, the
snowfall,
next
those
president of the
snowfall
United
rates are
States.
15 centimeters every 12 hours, and this thing
No,
is
the timing has to be
expected
just right. You'll
18
have
to
Snoop Dogg will be the
24 hours.
president around the same time.
Around 5 in the morning,
Marco's
then
kid will
later,
be
the system that
king
has
or
already
whatever.
paralyzed much of the U.S. South will pass by, bringing widespread snow in the afternoon and evening. 5 to 10 centimeters expected.
Damn it, this is not the news!
The PM commute is
Hey,
going to be.
by the way,
worse than
everybody,
the
it's still
morning
wintertime and it's
commute
snowing. Well, not this second, but it's out there, you know?
Hey,
you forgot, hey, it's only been 3 fucking months!
Reporting live, I'm Alex Bloomfield.
Here with All News Radio, 680 News in the U.S. It could be several more days until power is restored to millions across several southern states as a rare winter deep freeze continues to grip the region. 680's Madison Fitzpatrick joins us live with the latest on that. Madison.
That's electrical, mechanical minded,
Yeah, so General
scientifically minded, military minded, is looking at this situation going, what the hell did you people do to fuck this up?
Other forms of fossil fuels to help the state get through this.
You look on anything made of plastic.
Arctic blast.
You picture like
in
a
the
fork and a
southern
wine
part of the
glass.
state that has put pressure on
It's
the
not a
state's
wine glass.
power system.
You just have 2 lines like that. How do you know they're chopsticks? You know.
Various forms of creating energy.
You know what I'm talking
saying
about.
that if
There's
they
a little
rely
symbol that
solely
says it's
upon
food
green
grade.
energy, it
Typically,
would
it'll be a fork and a
challenge.
wine glass to
The
let you
CDC
know.
is now reminding residents in all
Eat off
states
this and
that
it won't kill
are
you.
being affected by this winter storm right now that carbon monoxide poisoning is a serious threat as people struggle to stay warm during these power outages.
I've been trying to give little tips about what to do in a winter storm to these people in Texas on Facebook, but I'm like,
50 cases of
things we take for granted up here.
2 deaths yesterday. Now, humans aren't the only ones dealing with this winter storm. Over 3,000 cold and stunned sea turtles are being kept warm inside a Texas convention center. Officials say temperatures will need to rise before the turtles can be released back into the Gulf.
Don't usually.
Reporting live, I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
More than a day after people started complaining they were being locked out of their online accounts for the Canada Revenue Agency, the department is finally offering up an explanation for the problem.
In a statement, the Canada Revenue Agency now revealing it had to lock many accounts because an analysis showed evidence that many credentials, like IDs and passwords, may have been compromised.
Now tell me why I can't log into mine.
To stop any access
And
from
why you
unauthorized
never...
individuals, and as a
How
result,
come I was
none of
locked
the
out of
accounts
applying
were
for the
compromised.
CERB? You didn't deny me, you just locked me out of applying. What the fuck is that shit, bro?
But rather gather from other
You let the white people get the money first and explain it later.
Not saying how many people
Oh,
are
shit, this is, you know, so we
Last
used
summer,
to,
an attack of so-called credential stuff enforced the temporary shutdown of online services and impacted tens of thousands of people. Initially, the CRA refused to reveal the cause of these recent lockouts, leading to many people taking to social media to voice their
because they're trying to
frustration.
deal with hackers and all like
Some spent as much as
that.
6 hours on the phone waiting to speak
I mean,
with an
that's
agent
serious.
just
You
to
can
be
say,
cut
oh, the
off.
government's playing
All
games.
that
Sure,
news
they always play
Parliament
games.
Hill.
Gas prices are next.
Occupant.
This is 680
Invitation
News.
inside.
You know, we should move here.
City of Toronto
Oh,
planning.
yeah, look at this neighborhood. 9 different
I'm not
dealerships.
really trying to hide
You
the
spend
address.
all your time looking at cars.
And trucks.
That's
We
me.
can't live at Maple Auto Mall.
Well, give me one good reason.
Well, for one thing,
Okay, so
no
let's see if I can.
What are you trying to tell me? You're not...
So my browser has these, you know, yours probably does the same thing. The headlines, the same ones. Australia media get pissed off about, or I assume that's how. Don't I have to go to their site to see the news? I'm a little confused how they're getting ripped off. Don't I still see the ads? Isn't your advertising network the same company? I'm a little confused by you people.
In 60 seconds, traffic and weather
so
together on the ones.
The CRA thing, they just I got like 8 stories on there, and like 4 of them look
Better
interesting.
than anyone. And no matter what challenge.
It is minus something like crazy. It is minus. It's like -4 Kelvin. I'm not even joking. No, Not joking. You know what? I'm not dealing with that right now. I'll deal with it in a minute when my feet don't hurt. Well, they don't hurt. Once they warm up to room temperature, they're gonna hurt like a bitch.
Financing, advising, smart.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, see, I try to keep the one on my head clean, so, but I'm gonna put this. You get virus on your hair or something, you touch your hair, you touch your face, and you're sick, right? But since I don't breathe through my scalp, I fucking so tired of hearing about you keep it real, Rod. What the fuck you doing? Did you get your name because you chip rock? Like, what the fuck you talking about? You come from a place where it was hard to grow food crops because it was rocky. Yeah, you live up in the mountain. Like, what the fuck, rock?
Together on the ones brought to you by Subaru and Shop for 680. Here's Troy.
We saw this crash on the eastbound 401. It's just east of here, Ontario, on the express. The right lane.
I just want to see the day where these two traffic helicopters, I think there's two traffic helicopters and the fucking orange air helicopter and everything, all this ambulance just fucking smash into each other. Not because I want bad things to happen. It would be humorous on a level of irony and sardonism. Sardonism?
Typically slow out through Mississauga from west of here, Ontario Express, Mavis Collectors towards Mississauga Road. From the 680 Traffic Center, here's Carlin Donahue.
Yeah, see, I got a whole bunch of them. There's only two in there. Why? Why? Because your crackhead ass should go get a fucking lighter.
And west of Rocky, we had an issue that is finally cleared up, so it's not causing any problems any longer. But if you are going Fort Erie bound on the QEW, we do have a collision approaching Fruitland. It's in the left lane, causing a delay from approaching Centennial Parkway. On the northbound 410, it's slow going north of Steeles to north of Queen. Eastbound QEW, delays Dorval to Ford Drive. And if you're heading out of the city on the northbound DVP, you can expect delays from approaching Eglinton to north of Lawrence. Bring on winter safely in a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive.
No, I got one of them stupid miniature coffee tins. No, you know the big red ones? I got the miniature one.
Now with a look at the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
All right, overnight tonight, east wind is going to start picking up in intensity, and that means you'll be waking up for Toronto westward to a little bit of snow along the QEW, especially right along the lakeshore.
For optimal results, open packet and brew with cold, fresh water. Serve coffee immediately.
Snow. It's about a 5 to 8 centimeter event across.
Oh, and it's kosher. Are you on fucking drugs?
However, the snow squall will continue all day
long.
long.
No, you can't brew coffee with cold water.
Friday morning. So by Friday, 20 plus centimeters for the west.
You can brew with hot water and then
a little bit less as you move north and east. And Friday morning we'll taper that off.
Rainforest Alliance certified. No, you'll love this. 33% Rainforest Alliance certified. Trademark. Okay.
10 degrees that morning. Wind chill -18.
So about 2.5 ounces here is not from the rainforest.
This is 680 News. Britain's Prince
That's why I don't like wasting
again been admitted to hospital.
99-year-old Philip enjoyed robust health well into old age. He's had a number of issues in recent years. 10 years ago, he was rushed to a hospital after suffering chest pains, treated for a blocked coronary artery. In 2017, he spent 2 nights in the King Edward VII Hospital. He was hospitalized for 10 days the next year for a hip replacement. His last hospital stay, December 2019, what the palace said was a planned treatment of a pre-existing condition. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Food deliveries, online shopping, and homeschooling. Mom, I can't log in. It never ends. We're juggling mortgage and credit cards. We can't afford the payments. Somebody help us.
Newborough will help.
Oh, please freeze everything up the instant you see me touching controls. You dump and dump and dump. Come on, that's the way to convince the world you're not a sex offender, is to get mad and attack us every fucking time we come online. I don't know for sure that's what's happening.
There's more than one way to visit. You never call anymore. Make an appointment.
Okay, here we go. Holy
fuck. Or shop for your car and your PJs at markbills.com. Of Marco, Highway 7.
All right, let's see. Yeah, my connection's unstable. Fuck off, buddy. Jesus Christ. Can somebody kill this motherfucker? Seriously. Whichever random fucking pedophile's harassing us. Useless. You're not a hacker, bro. I'd sooner have my email and bank account broke into than fucking deal with your fucking punk ass. No, it's like hearing fingernails on chalkboards, but that don't bother me. It's like hearing a whiny crackhead child molester scream at you every time you fucking... Right. Larry King, talk show host widow, contests handwritten will. It took an entire 2.5 minutes to do that, apparently, because they went through the whole fucking commercial break, didn't they?
Why don't you come and join us to support the people of Ontario for once, rather than just sit there and criticize.
And more snow is on the way for the GTA, enough to spark a snowstorm watch for Toronto, Peel, and Halton.
So I was right to clear the snow. Hey, snow didn't melt. No, it won't melt, dumbass. It's going to be minus 20 until the next time it snows, stupid. Salt. You see how much salt is out there? It is not above minus 10, so it's not going to fucking work. All right, so here's the weirdo type of shit that's got my... So I'm looking. It's on this... whatever. Global COVID-19 cases have dropped by half, and experts are looking for explanations. The Globe and Mail. Well, the city of Toronto doesn't count on that. I see idiots go, oh, our cases are down. It's only 800. Today, two of these idiots walking as close to me as possible. Oh, wear your mask. I'll fucking break your face. Texas winter storm. Okay, I got a bunch of them. Okay, I'll read. I started. Texas winter storm highlights the importance of fossil fuels. Oilprice.com. Fuck off. Larry King, talk show host widow, contests handwritten will. And Rush Limbaugh just died too, eh? Sounds like he's sawing a piece of cardboard. The mouse, not Larry King. CRA locks online accounts amid investigation, leaving users worried. Users worried. 6 hours ago, CBC.ca. Doesn't it sound like Larry King to leave a handwritten will? Didn't he have like 7 fucking wives? And Prince Philip admitted to hospital as apostrophe precautionary measure, comma, and apostrophe Buckingham Palace says. This is CBC. That's how bad they are at fucking typing. It should be quote precautionary measure, end quote, comma, you fucking retards. No, I hate you people because you keep claiming to be the authority because the government pays you to do this. Wife of North Korea's Kim. Do you mean wife of Un? Appears in public for first time in a year. Al Jazeera 22 hours ago. There is a photo here of the fattest North Korean man you have ever seen. He got double chins. He's not a chin, he's a goon. I know. Ontario sees 847 new COVID-19 cases as vaccine shipments ramp up. Video. Novak Djokovic damages court after destroying racket at Australian Open. Yeah, you don't think of tennis is that type of sport. Princess Latifah timeline, the failed escapes of Sheikh Mohammed's daughters. Yeah, there's a number of stories here, but I don't know where to start.
COVID-19 virus will continue to mutate and make the current vaccine completely obsolete.
Useless. It's not obsolete.
If you think about something like the flu virus. We know that the flu virus mutates, it changes every year. We have a different vaccine every year.
Yeah, once a year it changes. You're fucking retarded again. Every year it changes. No, every year you change the vaccine. 2 years behind schedule. We know. That's why it's useless.
Some protection.
The only person I seen bring their kids to get a flu vaccine last year, some like 80-year-old blind man. His grandkids can't see.
This week, the doctor also spoke about the difference between
the only person. I'm not hating on him. I'm saying he's got a number of obstacles against him.
We've got more of our answers on our website, 680news.com/COVID answers. Bill Shelberman, 680 News.
Fire officials are looking into the city's 27th fire at a homeless encampment this year. This one was fatal. It's unclear why there's been such a dramatic increase in these types of fires. However, officials say one thing is certain, and that's that these living arrangements outside are unsafe for those living in them, as well as local residents and first responders.
Inspectors sifting through the burned-out remains of what was essentially a plywood box. There's a blue bicycle and a small Canadian flag beside what's left of the structure that went up in flames here around 6 a.m.
beside the dog park on Adelaide near Parliament. One deceased person with obvious signs of death. Acting Toronto Fire Chief Jim Jessup says the number of fires at homeless camps like this one went up 250% between 2019 and 2020, and this is the 27th such fire this year alone.
Your genius ass said you were going to shut them all down and take them away to the shelters where they have to stay because they're not allowed out because they're homeless, and that's what the white people want. No, it doesn't work that way, dumbass. You ever hear follow-up? You ever hear follow-up? They tell you that all the homeless people went with them docilely to the fucking, obediently to the shelter and stayed there for the rest of their lives till they died of tuberculosis. Doesn't happen. They walk away immediately, go set up shop somewhere else. Are you fucking stupid? What do you teach people how to camp in Canada and survive and all that? No. You know who will? The military. Oh, you can't join the army. You got problems. Name a Canadian Forces soldier that doesn't have problems when he's deployed.
You get $1,000 every day for life.
Then TGIM, baby, and every other day too.
The Daily Grand Lotto draws every Monday and Thursday. Buy tickets in store and online at olg.ca.
Welcome back to the award season sales event at Nissan.
And here comes the radiant Nissan
My
Sentra.
speedometer has stopped working.
JD Power Award for best in driver appeal among compact cars in the U.S.
How could it not
Oh,
win
thank
with
you.
its
It went from
daring
7
design?
steps to 8 steps. I know I took more than 8 steps. Do I have
You
to?
can drive home a winner. Lease the 2021 Sentra SMT
Oh,
for the
see, it's
equivalent of
updated
just
fast, too.
$55
That's
weekly. Check out Nissan.ca or your Nissan dealer.
$237 monthly at 2.9% for 60 months with 0 down. Conditions apply.
It's not working right, is it?
6:00 news time, 6:51.
Traffic and weather together on the lines brought to you by City TV and Shopper 683
Sensitivity.
Let's drop the still here
On
on the
media.
eastbound 401 east of Huron, Ontario, and the express right lane blocked off for crash cleanup. It's jammed up from east to Mavis and the
Operational
express
level.
towards east of Huron.
Try
Ontario.
running
Here, the
when
collectors
screen
is
off.
fine.
Keep
That's
screen
looking good
on.
to Huron
Force
now. Just
screen
watch out
on.
east 401 approaching Salem on the right shoulder. Collision cleanup still ongoing. It's been there for a while now, but it's well off to the shoulder. It's not slowing
So
anyone
remember
down.
all
So
my
be careful
settings.
as you
It's
take
doing
that
wrong.
road towards Salem. On the west 401, just seeing delays approaching Mavis Express, west of Mavis Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. From the 680 Traffic Center, here's Carlin Donahue.
Pretty much just volume on my end of things here too, but we do have a collision. It's on the Fort Erie bound QEW approaching Fruitland. A left lane is blocked off with a crash, and that's
It's up
causing
by
delays
Plantation
from
Road.
approaching Centennial Parkway to approaching
Oh,
Fruitland.
yeah, I
We have
planted a whole
no
bunch
other
of.
delays on
I'm
the
going to
West
start
Gardner
marking on this
QEW
map book, I
combo.
think,
If
where
you're
I'm
going
putting these
eastbound on
fucking
the Gardner
things. 'cause-
QEW, we do have a delay.
Well, ideally, I would use
We're
some
open
sort of
to
map
4
application and
drive,
drop
but
a pin.
that's
That'd be
there.
fine.
Ow!
Ow!
410 moving a little slow from Steeles to north of Queen, and if you're on the southbound 404 DVP, it's a little bit slow going approaching Shepherd in the collectors down to the 401 ramps. Thursday on Breakfast
No, I found these
Television,
both the
Dr.
same day,
Teresa
and I
Tam
just it
answers
seems
your
symbology. This
COVID-19
one's black,
questions.
this
Plus,
one's
how one
transparent.
young player is back
Just
on
like
the
me.
ice after the
Just like
tragic
me.
Humboldt Broncos bus crash. Watch Breakfast Television
Oh,
weekdays at
for
6
fuck
a.m.
off.
only on City TV. With the
The
forecast,
man they
Natasha
convicted of
Rizzo.
that, who pled
And
out,
that's
doesn't
what
speak
you want to
English,
watch. I am listening to 680,
and
of
the
course, for
bus
school closure
hit
because of
the
snow that's
truck.
gonna get going Anywhere along the lakeshore from
I've seen the
Burlington to
intersection
Toronto
pictures.
early
You
tomorrow
can't
morning,
miss
and
the
then
truck
sort of
pulling out in
spreading
front of you.
east
You
across the
can't
rest of the
miss
day
it.
throughout the afternoon.
Doesn't matter who's.
Snow and blowing snow, morning wind chills minus 18,
You're
the afternoon
both
high
responsible
-3.
for that one.
And tomorrow night, that snow squall still is ongoing from Toronto
What would
to
you teach the
Burlington.
kids? Oh, if you get millions of
narrow
dollars
band
for
of heavy
dying,
snow
it's okay.
wiggling back and forth between those two cities, and then finally starting
But
to
as
taper
for
off early
hockey,
Friday morning, 20 to 30 centimeters.
It's not Canada's
in the
national
hardest hit
sport. They
area,
tried
and at
telling
this
us
point,
that
sort of
all through the
Burlington, Oakville looks to
national
the
sport.
target
No,
for
it's
that,
not.
closer to 15 for Toronto.
Harper says, oh, it's
Central
Canada's
with highs
winter sport.
-2. Tonight we're down to
That's
a low
not a thing.
-10 degrees. We're under
That's
a
not an
snow squall
official
watch from
thing.
Toronto
It's like the
to
key to
Burlington.
Toronto. There's no
It is
key to
currently
Toronto.
-6,
Because
wind
Toronto's
chill
an open
-11 at
city
Pearson.
that doesn't close and no one is ever turned away. And there's no wall. So there's written in the city documents, there's no key to this city. But John Tory, gives the key to Aubrey.
Anthony Longo here. This year, we've all been
That doesn't
craving
make
comfort
sense.
food, which is why we've made
Yeah,
feeding
the
your
gay-
family more comfortable too. We'd love to
I
see
want
you
to start
at any
swearing,
one
but
of our
it'll get
stores,
racial
but
and
we can
I'll
also
get them
have
all
your
in the wrong
groceries ready
order.
for
I
pickup
don't like them,
or
man.
delivered
At
through
all.
Grocery
Nobody
Gateway.
out here likes them.
And if you're looking for prepared meals on nights,
That's why
that
you
you'd
can't
rather
walk
not
down the
cook,
street to
you can order
Weston.
takeout at longos.com
Get
or
robbed.
find us on Uber Eats. For quality that meets your family's standards, no matter how you shop,
Trust ours.
I'm not going to make it to the top of that.
As the pandemic continues,
It's never been more important to get trusted information.
for the latest on the go online and on your device.
This is 680 News.
A 12-year-old boy remains in serious condition in hospital tonight after being buried in snow outside his school in Rigby. It happened yesterday morning at Julie Piatt Public School. Durham police conducting a parallel investigation with the Ministry of Labor. The operator of the plow pushed snow against a fence between the townhouse complex where he was working and the schoolyard. Police say a second child, an 11-year-old girl, was partially buried and was treated at the scene for minor injuries. Business is next.
You never point your vehicle at a human being, ever. They teach you that when you drive a forklift, but they refuse to teach it to people driving.
0.02 kilometers, 0.06 kilometers per hour. 1 calorie per.
The problem is, for 2 days, I don't know how much I walked.
No obligation consultations by phone or
The business report. All right. Never offered, so he had to push it. I'd see now, not being that now snow can be water. Water is one of those exceptionally unpredictable things. And then you start to wonder: was this guy like new at plowing? Did the fence look sturdy and then just fall over? Like what the fuck happened? No, it's easy to misjudge because water is heavy as hell. Ice will destroy anything. It'll lift your house up. If it gets under the foundations. There's. And those trucks are big and heavy and fucking power. They'll tow. Today's trucks, pickup trucks, instead of like 8,000 or 10,000 pounds, they'll tow like 30,000 pounds. Really? I can't legally drive that with a G class, like with the normal license. You get a G class license, you can drive your pickup truck. You put a 30,000 pound trailer on the back of it, and you're no longer allowed to drive your pickup truck without a fucking tractor trailer commercial license. Here it's called the AZ, but what you would call a commercial license.
Or maybe hard for some to envision, but Restaurants Canada says it's actually on board with the idea. James Ryland is the VP of Restaurants Canada.
It's not new. It's an evolution of the industry.
I hate the cocksuckers.
Any changes is.
You know what these guys are? The guys that graduated George Brown and convinced people to pay them money to represent them to make more money because they're going to change the fact that 80% of businesses go out of business in the first year. 4 out of 5.
They'll definitely have to have seating. You can't get a liquor license without seating. They also have to section off the area. If you have a liquor license, you have to have a sectioned off area.
You're saying they want to put patios in some Ontario stores as well?
Yeah, I have heard talk about having a patio space as well.
All right, on to the markets now, where the TSX fell from a record today, down 117 points to 18,374. Shares of BlackBerry down more than 7% at $14.37. Organigram falling almost 11%. The Dow notched a fresh record of 90 points to 31,613. The S&P was down just 1 point. The Nasdaq fell 82. Tilray on the move in the after-hours trade. The cannabis stock up 10% in the extended U.S. session as the company reported better than expected revenue and a smaller than expected loss. Canadian dollar moving lower. It's at 78.71 cents U.S. Top stories are next on 680 News.
The suspect has entered the room, bent over, ties his shoelace. We don't need a live commentary. Just tell me if he makes a move. He straightens with surprising agility, rotates 45 degrees to the left. Hey, you always just lay back on Steakhouse? Steakhouse for states, parent-teacher interviews.
Yeah, I remember people spraying aerosols at my door. You say, what am I supposed to do? Go to see? He said, me spray it. I'll fucking catch him one day and punch him. No, here's the trick. You hear that. You're supposed to open the... What are you doing? No, I'm not inhaling that shit. I know exactly what you're doing. People trying to make other people sick at all times because they're special and they won't get sick. But if you follow the videos of last year, and if you haven't, that's okay. I'll just break it down for you. The fat bitch that's been trying to make me sick for 2 years has been sick for a year and a fucking half. The one that calls security every time I call them out, and now she's chilled out now. Well, she moved onto this floor from somewhere. I don't know. It wants to be the cigarette and weed person, and I'm in her way because I'm some nigger. I don't do what she wants. She's got like an obedient puppet black man for a boyfriend, I guess.
-5 downtown Toronto.
That's who spraying chemicals at me, complaining about my nigger smell and all these other dumb things.
Toronto. It's 7 o'clock.
Freeze it up, dumbass. Start on the top of the hour like you do over and over and over. Let me guess, any port, I'm gonna name them. Any port in the storm, top of the hour, time of day attack. You know what you're doing. And I don't call it a DDoS because it's not, it's a DOS. You know why we named the rat trap router DOS? You want to keep it up? No, you shut up quick this time, then you stupid. Oh yeah, he's pointing out I'm a pedophile. To the people watching the fucking network, stupid.
Stay-at-home order until at least March 9th.
Right, I forgot. Half the reason I keep doing this is because I'm attracting these assholes like a magnet, dragging them,
major snow event of the week,
and dragging them out in public for everybody to see. Keep it up, dumbass. Keep it up. I know you can't see my screen. You see what I'm streaming. So you have to guess from my reactions what's actually happening. They're called exploits. You cut and pasted the code from a fucking child molestation dark web chat room or whatever, message board, and you're going to attack this guy because he said this and that about pedophiles. So why are you attacking us again? Because I keep saying bad things about child pornographers. Keep it up, though.
This report is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Durham. Right now, we do have an issue on the eastbound 401, east of Huron, Ontario in the Express. A center lane is blocked off due to a collision, and that's the third lane from the left there. It is once again in the express lanes. It's causing a delay east of Mavis in the Express, but that is kind of the only delay we're dealing with on the eastbound 401 right now. We do have an issue approaching Salem. The right shoulder is dealing with collision cleanup, so there's crews on the shoulder, but no live lanes blocked and no delay because of that. Westbound on the 401, we have a delay approaching Mavis in the Express and west of Mavis Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. If you are traveling on the westbound Gardner QEW, no issues until you're on the Fort Erie bound QEW, so just past the Burlington Skyway there. Approaching Fruitland, we have a left lane closed with a crash. That's causing a delay from approaching Centennial Parkway out to Fruitland. We've also got a delay on the northbound 410 Steeles to north of Queen. It's easing up a bit, and then eastbound QEW is a little bit slow just from Royal Windsor to Ford Drive. I've noticed on city streets here that the east and westbound Steeles just past Markham Road looks really, really backed up. Unfortunately, not seeing a camera there just at this moment. I'm going to take a look in just a second, but if you are driving through that stretch, give me a call at star 680 and let me know. The Mercedes-Benz Durham Sprinter event. Get lease and finance rates as low as 2.99% and special savings on remaining 2020 Sprinter vans. Details at mercedes-benzdurham.com. With your forecast, Natasha Ramsahai.
We've got a cloudy night ahead of us. Temperatures down to -10, waking up to wind chills of -18, and with winds gusting up to 30 kilometers per hour. And snow beginning out through the west end first in the morning as that snow spreads across the GTA. Heaviest of the snowfall is going to be from Toronto to Burlington, but everyone looking at a good 5 to 10 centimeters with those higher amounts in that corridor I mentioned. And the high tomorrow, -3, wind chill -9. Overnight tonight, we're down to low -10 degrees.
Downtown Toronto overcast, -4 degrees, feels like -8 when you factor in the wind. This is 680 News.
I think I did. I'm going to put the small container into a bigger one. I'll never find it.
Appeals top doctor asking the province to extend the current lockdown measures and stay-at-home order for their regions until at least March 9th.
680's Phil Martino joins us live to tell us the request stems from concerns about the new COVID-19 variants that are appearing in settings across Toronto and Peel. Phil.
So, Jana, just a week ago, there were 33 confirmed cases of COVID-19 variants in Toronto. Today, there are 56. Dr. Eileen Davila says this is the tip of an iceberg, and by the time the confirmed case counts are big enough to shock us, it will be too late to do anything. We will be in a third wave,
but we're at that point
as bad as anything we've been through thus far. That's why she and Peel's top doctor want an extension to the lockdown until at least March 9th. They made the request in a letter to Ontario's chief medical officer. Mayor John Tory has their support.
The worst mistake we could make right now is to ignore the advice of our medical experts and begin to reopen too quickly. We absolutely do not want to find ourselves opening things up, even slightly, and then having to close down again just a few weeks from now.
Health Minister Christy Elliott has said no decisions have been made regarding what restrictions will be placed on the COVID-19 hotspots. Phil Martino, 680 News.
Meanwhile, Queen's Park Premier Ford again under fire for his decision to start reopening the economy.
Ford under fire, and he was lashing back at the leader of the opposition, Andrea Horvath, asking the Premier why he's reopening the economy against most medical advice.
When will the Premier actually start listening to the hospitals, to the doctors, to his own experts, and prevent this province from going into yet another third wave and lockdown?
Why don't you come and join us to support the people of Ontario for once, rather than just sit there and criticize. You know, it's like listening to nails on a chalkboard, listening to you.
Speaker, this Premier always goes to the worst places when he doesn't like the questions that the opposition is asking, but we're going to keep asking them.
Ford was asked several times during question period to withdraw comments. I'm Richard Southern.
This is 680 News. You may have just gotten the driveway clear, but more snow is on the way. Snow squall watch is now in effect for Toronto and other parts of the GTA. 680's Alex Bloomfield joins us live with the latest. Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Janet, for areas under the watch right now, Toronto and southern Peel and Halton regions. Tomorrow's storm is expected to be a double whammy.
Lake effect snow with an east wind that starts tomorrow morning, and then that same low pressure system that's been dropping snow and ice across the U.S. South, that's going to pass just to the south of the lower Great Lakes.
And our meteorologist, Natasha Ramsahai, says that will bring 5 to 10 centimeters of snow GTA-wide, which would mean a total of 20-plus in the West End.
The 20-plus can also very easily top out at 30-plus, and that's because of the nature of snow squalls.
15 centimeters could fall every 12 hours under the heaviest bands. The drive home tomorrow will likely be brutal, especially on the QEW. And even once it all wraps up on Friday, this cleanup might be more of a workout than earlier in the week.
Make sure you take your time when you're shoveling that snow. It is back-breaking heavy snow that is expected to fall.
All these people that subsidize nuclear power, geothermal, and the Cold War, and all this shit, are expected at the age of 50, 60, 70 to shovel snow, pay for salt. Why do we salt? Now, see, the one thing I think, we should have a salt operation, like the East Coast.
Yeah, James, well, the nightmare continues.
We dump it everywhere. It runs into the lake, runs down the lake into the fucking river, and then out to the ocean, right? Not the worst, it's not good for the environment, but it's a pretty short cycle.
Texas. Some customers blame not ERCOT, but the individual power companies that feed into the grid and supply their homes.
They're turning off generators to boost the fucking spot price. We'll all do the same dumb thing at once.
Could be several more days. The Federal Emergency
Every drug dealer in the neighborhood cuts their
water
counts in half at the same time. They'll make more money.
Other parts of the central U.S. where people are freezing in their homes without power. For the fourth straight day, San Antonio is rescheduling COVID-19 vaccinations appointments due to the lingering effects of this winter storm. And in Houston, a woman and her 8-year-old died from carbon monoxide poisoning after their car was left on in their garage trying to generate heat.
What? Are you fucking stupid? Oh my God.
This is 680 News. The Canada Revenue Agency is finally shedding some light on why many Canadians have been locked out of their online accounts.
It took a day of locked out Canadians voicing frustrations and complaining about the lack of information from the Canada Revenue Agency to finally provide some clarity. In a statement, the CRA says an internal analysis showed evidence that many IDs and passwords may have been compromised, so as a preventative measure to stop any unauthorized access, the department locked out the accounts. A spokesperson says none of the accounts were compromised. However, they're not saying how many accounts had to be locked out. The CRA says the credentials were not taken from any cyber attack on its systems, but from other sources. It's now contacting all impacted individuals to help them regain access to their accounts, but it's not clear how long that may take. Last summer, a credential stuffing attack led the CRA to temporarily shut down online services, and the accounts of tens of thousands of people were affected. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
We'll check gas next.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
This is 680 News.
Your roof's sprung a leak. Water came through, shorted out the furnace, the radiator too.
When you need money fast, Prudent Financial has been your fast bank alternative since 1984.
If you need money in a hurry, PrudentFinancial.net. Get money quick, just one click. PrudentFinancial.net.
If you own your car or your home, get a loan. Borrow up to $75,000 in less than an hour. Self-employed, no proof of income, no problem.
PrudentFinancial.net.
Now, 680 News gas price.
I got a picture of a phoenix coming out of flames on this
3
shit.
cents at midnight to $1.20.9.
Experience the open spaces and perennial prestige of the Uplands community in Thornhill at 8188 Young. This collection of